Hello, I'm John.
And I'm Katie.
Today, we want to show you a tool that will help you grow free plants in your backyard nursery.
So as a backyard plant grower, we are always looking for ways to reduce our expenses and still maintain the high quality of plants that our customers expect and that what we want to give our customers. One way that we can reduce our expenses is by propagating our own plants. And we've done several videos about how we propagate, and I'll link those down in the show notes.
A couple weeks ago, I did a video on how to propagate triple crown blackberries. 3 methods that we use. One of them is called the stick method. I cut a branch, I cut it into segments, leaving a piece of the leaf on each segment, and then I stick it into a media. We keep it then in a moist area, and ultimately it'll grow roots and produce new plants. And this, again, 2 weeks ago, and you can see there's some fresh green growth. Now there's no roots down below yet, but that's a positive indication that we're in the right direction.
So after you cut those sticks and put them in the media, where did you put those?
We put them in a mist tunnel.
So putting plants in a mist tunnel is that tool that we use to give the plants the absolute best environment we can to help them grow those healthy roots, which will in turn into healthy plants. The idea is that we create an environment that is nice and moist, humid air, protected from excess heat of the sun, and it just allows those roots to develop. So we're going to show you exactly how we build our mist tunnel. We're in the middle of reorganizing it, so we figured that now would be a great way to show you back to the beginning. The mist tunnel is composed of a frame structure, and then we have sprinkler heads inside and then a shade cloth over it, and that allows the good airflow so that there's not fungus buildup. It's just another opportunity to create this environment. Now, if you're growing plants on a small scale basis, you still want to create this humid environment, and I've seen people use humidity domes that they've bought from big box stores, or even clear plastic totes that you use, and those are all great ways to propagate plants to get those softwood cutting roots to grow. But we want to do hundreds of plants, and so we are using this mist tunnel, and so come along and we'll show you how we do it. What we have on our mist tunnel is a ground cover, irrigation and tubing. We have the mist controller, sprinkler mist head, 1-inch PVC pipes that go into the ground, 1/2-inch PVC pipes that create the arch. We have shade cloth clamps. It's really important to have a good ground cover down. You could do this on pavement, you could do it on gravel, as long as you can maintain the right temperature, it doesn't get too hot. But we use this polypropylene ground cover to prevent any weeds or grasses from growing up and into our plantings. That's probably one of the big foundation things that we need to do. This allows moisture to go through so water doesn't puddle up on top. The next thing we have is our irrigation and tubing. Because we're doing this on a large scale, we are trying to automate as much of our irrigation system as we can. So this pipe that's coming straight up, it goes down into our main water line. And then we have an on-off valve, so if we had to do any maintenance, we could do that. The pipe then travels up and then down to a controller. The other line goes to our sprinkler system for our grow tunnel. It comes to our controller. Now this is a very special controller. It's called a DIG 710AP. DIG 710AP. What's really unique about this controller and timer is that it allows the water to come on in minutes and seconds, and that's what you need with a mist tunnel. We programmed this so that the water comes out of our sprinkler heads for 8 seconds every 10 minutes, and that's what creates that humidity inside the tunnel. And then you see we just have the PVC pipes, and then it converts to this black plastic irrigation tubing that's very common. Out of the irrigation we have stuck in these sprinkler mist heads. In our tunnel, which is really not very big right now, we have 8 mist heads. We've got them configured so that when they turn on, the mist overlaps each other so that everything gets nice and moist. And there's a special tool that you puncture the plastic tubing and they just fit right in. So the first thing that we do to set up our frame is we burn a hole into the ground cover. What that does is it singes the edges here and it doesn't let that ground cover fray. If you just use scissors, sometimes it will fray. And then we take our post that's got the angle cut on the bottom and we just hammer it into the ground. And we like it to go in 6-8 inches deep. The next thing we do is we just take our 10-foot half-inch pipe and put it down into that hole. And then on the other side, we'll put it in the other hole. And that creates the frame that the shade cloth will sit on. Now you can see they're not all exactly the same height. They're not even all the same shape, but that's really okay. All I want is to create something to hold up the shade cloth. We've seen people use EMT conduit and bend it and use that. That's certainly an option. This is much easier to get to and much less costly. So the next thing that we have here is our sprinkler heads. And these are specially formulated sprinkler heads that allow the water to come out in a fine mist. And what this does is when we have it on for 8 seconds every 10 minutes, it keeps the area nice and moist and the leaves moist. Now let me just tell you about going cheap here. This is our second full year of having a mist tunnel. And last year we bought some cheap mist heads that we were able to find at a local big box store by a well-known name brand, but they were cheap. And we probably fought them 3, 4, 5 times last year. And they were clogged, they didn't spray right. So, and then this year we couldn't even get them to spray at all. They were like spewing, it was awful. So we went back to the experts and to our mentors and found out what they use. And they use this is a Dram 36C, I think. I'll look that up and I'll put it in the show notes exactly what it is. So the sprinkler head comes on very long metal legs that you just poke into your ground cover. And then there's the black tubing that connects to the main irrigation tube, and that's what allows the sprinkler to come out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the shade cloth on. And this shade cloth is 40% shade. And what we're doing is we're just going to make sure that it comes down to the bottom on one side, and we have some bricks to hold it in. And then we use these clips. We bought them at Lowe's. They're just PVC clips, and I'll link those too. And they just stick right over the PVC, and they hold that shade cloth. So we're going to go around this first hoop, and we're going to make it kind of tight. Get it all the way on here, and then we'll go to the other side and pull it tight to the length. And there we go. So now you notice it's open here. I do have another piece of shade cloth that I'm going to put on the edge here, and that way the sun doesn't bear right down on here. The good thing about this shade tunnel or this mist tunnel is that it's expandable. Right now we have 12 or 15 feet under shade tunnel, 12 or 15 feet long, and 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5.5 to 6 feet wide. And that's good for a lot of what we're doing. But we anticipate doubling again next year. We quadrupled last year. We're hoping to at least double again. So we can extend this tunnel out. We'll put more ground cover down, and then we'll put more of these posts. And then it can just go as long as we can. We did make sure that our irrigation hose stayed long so that we have opportunity to grow as we grow. So we're going to just pull this nice and tight. It doesn't have to be tight because these will wobble, and we don't really need that. We just need it to be attractive, so it's not ugly. And then we put the bricks down again on the bottom, and what that does is it is actually cat deterrent, because we've got boxes of sand in there, and I don't know if you know about cats. Where there are boxes of sand, they will find it. And then this side, because we have extra of this fabric, we're going to just fold it in, and then we'll secure that to the ground so that the cats can't get in. Another way that we get free plants is we go to the big box stores this time of year. It's the end of July. Wow, it's the end of July already. Mm-hmm. So the end of July, big box stores, they just don't take care of the plants the way that we take care of plants. And so we will go to a big box store and we'll find plants that we know that we legally can propagate, that the plant itself is not patented. And if it looks really bad, a lot of times they do discounts or will ask for discounts. This is an astilbe. It's a great little plant. It's one of my favorite shade shrubs, and it looked pathetic. And we offered 75% of what they were asking, and they accepted it. So I took this plant and I cleaned off all of the dead brush. I left the seed heads because I just think they're a nice little look to them. But I put this plant with all of its ugliness, with all of it was withered, awful, and I put it in the mist tunnel for a couple of weeks so that it could live its best life. And you can see I have been rewarded. Now I'm going to finish taking out all the dead stuff, but in a couple, probably in September, I'll go ahead and I'll take this one plant, and I can probably divide it into 5, 6, maybe 8. We'll have to just kind of see how it works. And then I'm going to take the seeds, and I'm actually going to try to grow them from seed also.
So there you have it. A mist tunnel, a great tool for any backyard nursery. Can help propagate your own plants, giving you the access to plants at just about free. I don't know if I can say totally free. Got labor involved in it.
Right, there's labor and there's expenses in the mist tunnel.
You got to buy the material for the mist tunnel, but it's worth it. And it does. The number of plants that we're able to grow in there, it's amazing. So take advantage of it. If you've got a mist tunnel, I know I ask these kind of questions at the end of our videos, but if you've got a mist tunnel, share that with us. If you've got a different design, I would love to see it. And tell us how well what your success rate is as well.
Yeah. So, we know there are different controllers, different brands of controllers. There are different brands of mist head, sprinkler heads. So let us know and share that so that other people who are watching can learn and can find what they need to.
Yep.
If you like this kind of video, if you enjoy watching us, do all the experiments we do here at the orchard, please like and subscribe to our channel. It really, really helps us a lot. And let all your friends know about us too, because I bet you there's people out there that want to know these things.
So until our next video, take care, have a magnificent day, and thank you for joining us here at Newtown Orchard and Nursery.